The Biodiversity Treaty was unleashed at the Earth Summit along with Agenda 21 in 1992. This treaty is considered key to sustainable development, and it sets forth the following rationale. The human race cannot sustain itself if it is polluting the water, air, and land of the planet due to overpopulation-induced CO2 buildup and fossil fuel-driven industrialization. Since the biosphere of Earth depends on an intricate and interdependent hierarchy of species, it does not make sense to antagonize or destroy the environment. This is reasonable, but what is not reasonable is extreme environmentalism.
This is the Biodiversity Treaty. It is 1,147 pages thickness of what is and is not sustainable in the 21st century. It talks about unsustainable things that human beings do. For example, power lines, ponds, fences, paddocks, religion. It talks about the unsustainability of the future because of population. It talks about golf courses, scuba diving, all these wonderful sports and skiing and all these things that we do as human beings. It's all unsustainable.
The Biodiversity Treaty was originally the brainchild of a radical environmentalist named Dave Foreman. He was the head of an organization called Earth First. He put together what was called the Wildlands Project. The Wildlands Project called for rewilding, their term, 50% of all the land in every state, back to the way it was before Christopher Columbus. Foreman's goal was to reduce the population to about 250 million people, and one of his dreams was to have the gray wolf and the grizzly have an unbroken line from Chihuahua, Mexico to Canada.
The Wildlands Project is one of those things that just sounds so crazy you can't believe that it could possibly be true. And it's the idea, which seems like a good one, that human beings should be restricted to specific locations and animals should be free to move freely through the world. And so because of that, then you have designs that require corridors, which are animal corridors, core areas for animals, and buffer zones. And these surround the islands of human habitation.
Under the Wildlands Project, vast tracts of land throughout the United States will be returned to the wild. Few or no humans will be permitted on tracts of land that could span the nation from Los Angeles to New York, Canada to Mexico. Humans can visit, but they cannot stay.
Take rural lands and put it off limits to human beings. We see that beginning to happen right now. Roads are being closed, forests are being more limited, and the idea here is that you stack and pack people in metropolitan areas, you put them on public transportation, and you never let them outside.
Human beings are irresponsible. We are planetary villains, and therefore we need to create this Wildlands Project, a network of cores and corridors that are given, where the animals, the species, the plants are given priority over human beings.
And this is the goal: islands of human habitation, or human settlements, or transit villages that concentrate human beings into specific locations so that animals can be free to move freely throughout the world.
All human development and support services, including roads, power lines, dams, farms, ranches, police and firefighting services, will be gone. Only wolves, suckerfish, spotted owls, and indigenous species will remain.
Extreme environmentalism is what we're seeing coming out of our colleges and universities right now. So the Biodiversity Treaty attempts to, in many cases, it will regulate to one species to the complete detriment of all others.
South San Jose is a good example of what's become, or is becoming, a wildlands project. South San Jose is called the Coyote Valley, and gee, some coyotes like to cross that valley, and some other animals as well. And so that's off limits to development. And we're seeing that kind of activity happening everywhere across this country.
But where will the humans go? Not to worry, Agenda 21 and its spawns have a plan.